All right, today I want to do a quick special update on how to follow price action. And yesterday was a textbook trading day, and it was May 10th, 2023. And the chart you're looking at is a 1 hour chart of SPY. And these are all of the support and resistance levels that I give you on the Stocks Channel Discord. And today I want to quickly go over how you follow price action based on following critical levels of support and resistance. So yesterday we had the CPI data report and we gapped up right on top of that resistance at SPY 414. And when you're following price action, your job is to understand if price is breaking through that resistance or getting rejected from that resistance. And if you get the rejection, you can short it down to support. And if we get the breakout, you want to go long until we get to the next resistance. So in order to day trade this price action, we need to go down to the 5-minute chart using these levels. And we can see in the morning with that gap up, we did get that false breakout look above SPY 414. Now, anytime price action breaks through resistance, you want to see a back test of that resistance as newfound support and then a continuation to higher prices. And then you can set your risk below that support zone and let the trade run to the next price target. Now you can quickly see if you were following price action, you knew instantly that was a false breakout because the next 5-minute candle was very high volume selling. And that set the tone immediately on how the market was going to behave from the open, with the bull trap open, a break of that support test, and then continuing down to form lower highs on our way towards the next support zone at 411. So even if you did not take the short trade on the first 5-minute candle of the breakdown of the resistance at 414, you still could have had a lower high entry right here when we had the bounce to a lower high and then a continuation of the downside with a rejection, and you could have set your risk at the previous high of the day. That was a very good risk reward setup whether you took the first breakdown or the second lower high breakdown. Either way, you had great well-defined risk at SPY 414. And as you can tell, that risk reward ratio did play out because we did reach the full price target at 411. Now, once we got down to 411, we broke down through that level as support. And in order to short from 411, we would have needed to see a rejection from that level as resistance and a continuation to the next support at 409. As you can tell, that was another bear trap, which is completely normal. And that's why you need to wait for confirmation, because the market is going to go and hunt those stops and stop you out before you go any higher or lower from there. This is why you need to give your trades room to breathe, and you need to wait for price action confirmation before you enter any trades. So this break of support was not enough because we did not get a successful breakdown on the retest and a continuation of lower prices. Now, once we broke back above support, you could have gone long, but you need to remember that we are now putting in lower highs. So if you're going long, you are currently going long in a downtrend, which means you should have no expectation that price is just going to run straight back up to 414. And as you can see, we did not go all the way back up to 414, and we continued to put in lower highs as we continued into that downtrend. Remember, it's important to understand the trend in lower highs and lower lows is a bear trend, and we did have the lower low into the next lower high. So again, you had another short entry here on the rejection, which is confirmed by the red candles continuing to show that's a pivot. We got back down to support yet again and got a very weak bounce to put in yet again another lower high. And on the break of support, we were now breaking support, putting in a lower low after a lower high. And that was all she wrote, all the way back down to our next price target at 409. So when you're following price action, you need to let the price action do all the talking, and these lower highs and lower lows and break of support after a strong rejection from resistance were telling us we were going lower. Now, once again, we broke down below the support at 409, but we never saw the confirmation of the backtest of that support breakdown as resistance and a continuation of lower prices. Now we started on a very impulsive move higher, and as you can tell, we had a very bullish candle here that broke this previous high, and that was an indication we could have reached a bottom and ready to rally back higher towards another lower high or back towards resistance. As you can see, we got back up to resistance. We had a little bit of a pullback and blasted right through it. And on a breakout of that resistance, you could be waiting for a confirmation of a retest of that breakout. But as you can tell, that never happened. So the way you knew to start getting more bullish is because price action broke out to a higher high. Remember, the market was putting in lower highs going into that support. And then on the break of that support, it became resistance. That resistance eventually broke. We did not test it as support, but we started to break out to higher highs. So on that higher high breakout, we did get a retest of that breakout, a continuation to the upside. And then in the end of the day, as we approach resistance, we did see a little bit of profit taking. So this is just a special update on how you follow price action using the critical levels that I give you in the Stocks Channel Discord. And this is another example of why it's so important to wait for confirmation when you get a breakdown through support or a rejection at resistance, because there's always going to be these times where we get to these levels and we see a little bit of a stop hunt above or below the level before we continue the trend. However, if you identify the trend like we just went over of identifying these lower highs on the break of these support levels, then you instantly know you should be looking for the short direction because we're currently in a downtrend. It's only once we broke that trend into a higher high that we were looking for a break of that support as a bullish breakout to higher prices. So as I always tell you, the trend is your friend and let the price action do all the talking. And if you want access to the support and resistance levels and my intraday updates on following price action, come join us over at the Stock Channel Trading Discord community. You can find out how to join the Stock Channel Discord by clicking on the link in the description of this video. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you're crushing this market. And as always, I will see you in the next episode.